Welcome. Good morning. Welcome to Infantry-Mindset, where we don't make excuses, we just do it. Today, I want to take a minute and just look at some of the highlights of the ABC News exclusive with President Biden after the presidential debate. I did an entire reaction video on it. I really was proud of it. The audio wasn't trash like the first video, even though you all supported it so much. But it got a copyright strike, and I guess ABC News didn't like that I was using their content. So I got to deal with that. I disputed it, but I don't even know how YouTube works. I'm an infantry guy. I am not the most intelligent person, so I'm trying to work through this, and I'm watching a lot of YouTube videos to kind of help me through the process. So I say that because if you guys have any suggestions on what I should be looking at, or if anyone that's really good and just kind of explaining how to do like the day to day stuff on YouTube, shoot in the comments, who you want me to listen to or follow, and I'd be much appreciative. I got my coffee. Love my coffee. I tell you, I don't drink like I used to in the infantry world. We train hard, but we also party pretty hard too. And when I commissioned over and became an officer, that's really when I started like slowing down my drinking. So I don't drink. Occasionally, I'll drink some wine or something, but or maybe have a couple beers. But I'm not really a heavy drinker. But caffeine, oh my gosh, I'm addicted. And coffee, uh, good enough. I don't deal with the Red Bulls and stuff, but I will drink coffee all day long. Which brings me to, before I get started, I just want to ask y'all, and I hope I don't offend anybody, but uh, does anyone besides myself get I don't know if irritated is the right word, but just like weirded out by Starbucks. I don't like going to Starbucks. It is, I don't know if it's the entitlement with, listening to the orders. I want a cafe latte Bombay Zimbabwe with a pinch of splash and curdle my milk. And it's just like, bro, get a coffee. I listen to it, I chuckle inside, but it's what makes this country great. I'm really proud of who I've become, because the man that you see now is not the infantry guy, very young in my career, that just wanted to go shoot guns. But it does put in perspective how entitled we are when we have all these little things that just make us feel better about life. It's not a bad thing. It's just, to me, it's funny. So I try to stay away from Starbucks. I don't even know how to order in Starbucks. Unfortunately, I had to go there this morning, and I'm listening to all these people in front of me order, and I get there and I'm like, can I just get a large coffee? And it's like, what size? We don't. I guess they don't do large. They go like grandes or something. I said, look, what's equivalent to like a McDonald's large? That's the one that I want. And I think I end up paying like $4 for it, which is another story. And the coffee's not even that good, but I'm here. All right, that's my complaint of the day. So I wanted to get into a little bit about the highlights. I watched the entire interview. I was very disappointed in Biden. I really felt like he didn't take the right approach. Again, I think it will be probably tough for me, and I don't try to push my views on anyone. But it'd probably be pretty tough for me to vote for someone that is acting the way he's been acting, mentally and physically, and just stumbling and fumbling, because in the infantry world, we admire strength and confidence and conviction and awareness, and all the key things that will help us survive. So I'm starting to lose a little bit of that when I see Biden. I don't see those qualities that we really look for. And I was disappointed that he didn't take the approach of, hey, I had a bad night. This is what I meant to say. It's not anyone else but me. Look, grill me now. I got answers for you. Let's get to it. Like that's what I want, right? It's like that you fall down, you bounce back up and you get to it. I've never I won't get into that, but I'm trying to be politically correct, so I do try to watch my words because I'm not the I'm still rough around the edges, if you guys understand. So I try to get my thoughts together before they come out of my mouth, and sometimes if they do come out, and I don't really know how to edit, so if they come out and I let them out on the internet, then and it comes out wrong, then maybe I not only disappoint myself, but I don't want anything I say to um, impact the military and our country, which I love so much. So, with that being said, let's get into this highlight here, and I think this kind of sums up how I was feeling about it. So, let's see what he has to say. Our president. Sorry, not to be disrespectful.
Let's start with the debate. You and your team have said you had a bad night, but
Sure
your
did.
but your friend Nancy Pelosi actually framed the question that I think is on the minds of millions of Americans. Was this a bad episode or the sign of a more serious condition?
It was a bad episode. No indication of any serious condition. I was exhausted. I didn't listen to my instincts in terms of preparing, and I had a bad night.
You say you were exhausted, and I know you've said that before as well, but you came, and you did have a tough month, but you came home from Europe about 11 or 12.
Before they go into this, man, it bothers me that our president being tired could cause him to perform like that. And I think about all the things that he could have did differently. As a young officer, they always teach us when you're in the middle of the storm, right? I'm trying to watch my words. And bullets can be flying, things can be going on, and it is your job to make sure your tactics and you're maneuvering the right way and you're calling the right so quote unquote plays. And they always teach you when it gets extreme, take a tactical pause, take a kneel down, take a pause, look at your surroundings. It doesn't matter what's going on. Get your head right, think about that next move, and then be confident and execute. And I think that it doesn't matter if you're tired, right? We're all tired, but with something so important like letting um, the world and your country know that, hey, you are still here, you're ready to go, and you have some good stuff that you want to offer. You got to be able to take that tactical pause and get back on track. If you stumble and fumble and you let one person kind of dictate how things are going, or even like somehow blame a person or a circumstance um, for being the reason why you failed, it gets scary because we've got so many enemies out there around the world. And what if they push those buttons? And what if you're tired, right? Does that mean that you're going to make a bad decision because you're tired, or you're going to let someone get the best of us in negotiations, or doing something that's higher level because you didn't get enough sleep? So that bothers me that he's blaming it on being tired. I don't know what else excuse he could use, so maybe that's the best excuse. But yeah, let's hear what he has to say.
Days before the debate, spent 6 days in Camp David. Why wasn't that enough rest time, enough recovery time?
Because I was sick. I was feeling terrible. Matter of fact, the docs with me, I asked if they did a COVID test because they were trying to figure out what was wrong. They did a test to see whether or not I had some infection, a virus. I didn't. They just had a really bad cold.
And
I think that's cool if he's not feeling well. My question is, would it have been that hard? Because he was hoarse. I heard or read something. I don't know where I got it from, but they were saying that the him being hoarse and not being able to talk. Our president, that is. Again, I apologize if for not being respectful. Our president was hoarse, and maybe that was because of rehearsing or yelling or some type of training he was doing to get ready for the debate. But it sounds like he's saying that no, that was because he had like a severe cold. I will say that I think that the very next day, he went to South Carolina or North Carolina, and he did a speech in front of everybody, and he sounded a lot better. So, if it was a cold, it was a quick cold, or maybe they gave him something that helped him get better pretty quick. Um, but again, I don't know how hard it is to switch the time or switch the date for the debate. But it sounds like if he knew he was in a bad condition and he already knows, how important it is for him to be strong, and he feels like he's going to be weak, maybe it would have been a good decision to postpone it. But let's keep listening.
Did you ever watch the debate afterwards?
I don't think I did, no.
Well, what I
Man, that comment there, I think that sums it all. I think that is for me, that is so disappointing to hear. I made my first video, and I was so proud of just taking a step and just doing it, right? I kept making excuses like I'm gonna do it here and there. But I just said, you know what? Let me just put it out. And here, maybe I'll get into my story a little bit later on, but I told you my wife, she's still in the military, and my wife and kids, they're about 3 hours away. I'm currently working for a company, and because of where the work's at, I have to come down during the week, and I'm here, and I'm in like a 1 bedroom apartment, so I'm away from my family. It's almost like a mini deployment every week. And I say that because I did my first video, and I watched that thing like 50 times. I was so disappointed in the audio, but I was so proud that I put it out, and really appreciate it for the people that took a listen. And if you haven't, man, I'd really appreciate it if you go back and just take a listen, because I thought I did a really good job in explaining some of the things that I thought. And I said to myself, if I'm that critical over a stupid YouTube video, and you had probably the worst performance as our president in speaking to the people in history, and you're telling me you didn't go back and watch that and figure out what happened or what you meant to say, or how you could have answered questions better, man, that is just that's, to me, that's the sign of someone that is really in denial, or maybe just doesn't understand the importance of what's going on. I just can't. I don't know if it's a pride thing, that our president would say he didn't go back and listen to it. But you got to make time and take an hour and go back and listen to what happened, so you understand what everyone's talking about. Because there's two things here. It sounds like he doesn't understand what everyone's scared about, so maybe he doesn't see himself from a different perspective. And I think that's a big mistake. If that is true, that is a big mistake, that he couldn't take the time, or think it was important enough to take the time and go back and listen to see, where he messed up at, and why people are so worried about his current condition. That's very upsetting for me. It's very upsetting.
want to get at is what were you experiencing as you were going through the debate? Did you know how badly it was going?
Yeah, look, the whole way I prepared, nobody's fault mine. Nobody's fault but mine. I prepared what I usually would do, sitting down, as I did come back with foreign leaders or the National Security Council, for explicit detail. And I realized about partway through that, I get quoted, the New York Times had me down at 10 points before the debate, 9 now or whatever the hell it is. The fact of the matter is that what I looked at is that he also lied 28 times. I mean, the way the debate ran, not my fault, no one else's fault. No one else's fault.
I don't care. I think that I think our president's missing the point. Um, I remember as a specialist when I got my first real duty, um, and I had to go brief a lieutenant colonel. And at the time, I was nervous, and I went to my first sergeant. And I was like, I think I know exactly what I'm going to say, but I rehearsed it. I have to go in and do a brief, but what if I do this and this and that? And my first sergeant at the time told me, you're the SME, you're the subject matter expert. It doesn't matter how smart or how much more you think that this person knows about your job, they don't. You know the most. Whatever you say is what he is gonna listen to and believe. And so I say all that to say that the confidence and the commitment of something is very important. I don't want to hear about someone supposedly lying 28 times in a debate to make it sound like, um, maybe I had a bad night, but this person had a worse night. I want to hear about why you performed in that manner as our president, and why it's okay to believe that, for the next 4 years, you're going to be able to run the country and make the important decisions that we need you to make. So I think this is a huge, it's a, it's a, it's a mindset thing. It's not an infantry mindset. I tell you that it's a mindset thing that our president has, where it seems like he's kind of blocked out his deficiencies, and it sounds like he's more um, in the realm of just making excuses on why, you know, it's not so bad. I guess is how I can put it. So I hate to hear about. It's not even about whether or not your opponent is lying or not. Right now, it's just all about, are you okay? We haven't even gotten there to the point where we can even start discussing um, why you're better than your opponent. We just want to know if you're okay as our president and our commander in chief. And I think he's missing that point.
Right.
Yeah.
Some
Uh, yeah. So, his reply was, I just had a bad night. Um, it's disappointing. I watched this whole thing. I think I watched the interview 3 times just to really grasp what our president was saying, and like to try to understand if he was being genuine or just delusional, or what. And I want to be very respectful because I think there might be something going on that we don't even know about medically, and I think it would be a really good idea for him to get it checked out. Because I tell you, I've got 2 little ones, and everything I do in life now is to make sure that they have a better life, and part of that is making sure that we're putting the people in place that are going to set them up for success with our positioning around the world, and just making sure they have the best opportunity. So I am a little worried. um, I hope we get more information. I hope we can find out. And at the end of the day, again, I want to say thank you to everyone. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I know it was short, uh, but if you found some value, I would really appreciate just a like and a comment. The comments mean what. I mean, you could dislike it and still leave a comment. That would mean a lot to me, just to get some insight. It also helped me grow. In the military, after we do something, we always do a AAR, after action review, and we always ask everyone that was involved in the training, the session, whatever it is, You know, what do we do well? What could we do better? If you agree with those things, if you disagree. So that's what I'm asking for you all. You know, I would love, if I have 600 views, I would love to have 600 comments. It would help me grow because I really want this to be something that eventually I can use to be able to put more time back into my family. And so, yeah, no, I appreciate it. Thank you again. Another, but can't even talk. Another episode of Infantry Mindset where we don't make excuses, we just do it. All right. Until next episode, thanks, guys. Love, peace, and happiness.